Washington.
In today's News for You, what today's turn of events means for us. Professor Joel Samuels is at the University of South Carolina School of Law and an expert in foreign relations. So, Professor, first of all, my first thought is, we give the sigh of relief, but really, can we even give a sigh of relief? Because my question is, can we trust Syria to follow through with this? Should we not learn from Iran and Iraq? And can we even trust Russia, for that matter?
I mean, the real question is, can we trust? And the real answer is trust but verify, as people have been saying for decades now. The Syrians have shown lots of reason why we shouldn't trust them, but now there's enough focus on Syria, enough world attention, and most importantly, Syria's strongest allies, Russia and Iran, are pushing this proposal so that we can really believe that there's going to be a meaningful process put in place. But the fights that we should expect to have over the course of the next several days and weeks as this diplomatic solution is hammered out, because it won't be happening over the next 24 hours, are fights about the verification process.
How would this be policed? How would it be executed?
Most likely it would be executed by the United Nations. United Nations inspectors would be the ones who would go in and try to make sure that first the weapons were identified and located, and later that they were taken out and destroyed. That process would be governed by the United Nations, not by the United States, not by Russia.
And the situation with what is happening with Syria, whether it's boots on the ground or direct strikes or just negotiations and everybody comes to an agreement, continues to change every day. And even right now, as you and I are sitting here, the Security Council could be changing yet again.
This could not be a more auspicious moment for us to be talking. The Security Council started a meeting at 4 o'clock today up in New York. The Security Council of the United Nations, made up of 15 members, 5 of them so-called permanent members, the United States, Russia, France, the United Kingdom, and China, have veto rights, and the other 10 rotate every 2 years from smaller countries around the world. Those 15 countries will have the right and will be developing resolutions to decide how and when the Syrians would turn over these weapons, and also what consequences there would be if they failed to do so.
Quick question, and then I have to wrap. What does the President need to say to the American people tonight?
I think he's going to say 2 things. I think the first is that his actions in threatening war are what led to this diplomatic solution, and I think there's some truth to that. And second, that he's not going to trust automatically, that he's going to continue to push the Syrians, but I hope he says that he now is focused on the diplomatic solution and that he's prepared to follow that course. But he can't take the foot off the gas on the war solution, because that's part of what's motivating the Syrians and the Russians to take action now.
Professor Joel Samuels, thank you so much. We're going to have the professor on again as we continue to follow what's happening in Syria. Thank you for that. And the possibility of U.S. involvement in Syria weighs heavily on the minds of many here in the Midlands. Some believe the United States has no business intervening despite the Assad regime's suspected use of chemical weapons. Others say the president should give serious consideration to a proposal that might allow the Syrian dictator to give up control of those weapons. Coming up, we have more local feedback on the Syrian situation and how the White House may respond.